Is it starting to click now? Hello, how are you, Jade?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. How old are you?
I'm 24.
24. A little bit young for this, but let's go. What, you have a question? What's the question?
I do have a question. I grew up in a traditional house, not a very traditional household. My mom was actually the breadwinner in my house, but I always saw her respect my dad. And so coming from someone who does want to be married in the coming future, very soon, what would you say to somebody who has seen a good marriage work and wants that for themselves, but is having a hard time finding someone to really respect their morals and their values?
What does that mean?
So I'm just having a hard time because I
respect your morals and your values. What, are you a virgin?
No.
What does that mean? Respect your morals and values. What does that mean?
Just that my belief is that sex is not the only important thing in a relationship.
I understand you're not a man. Are you a Christian?
I am.
Do you want to wait till marriage to have sex?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to just tell you bottom line, this whole morality thing, okay, fine, but men want to have sex. It's just...
No, I understand. Oh.
So I guess you're encountering guys that just want to get straight to it, and you want to get to know them a little bit more before you give up the goods or the goodies and things like that. But maybe you're 24 also. So guys are trying to get with you, and then they come across, and maybe it might be younger guys as well. I like to know the age of the guys who are trying to shoot their shot at you, but they're probably just coming at you straight up like, yo, it's time now. And you're probably like, well, I want a relationship. And these guys aren't really on that same tip that you're on. So that might be what she's kind of getting at. Yeah, there is more to a relationship and marriage than just sex. Because that will get old after a while if that's all you got.
But that doesn't mean that's the only thing they want. But men want to have sex. And see, in our community, we tend to try to use things to leverage that you really shouldn't. Like when I was a young man, black women used to say, I don't give head. I don't do that. Yeah. I'm like, that's not something to hold out on. Yeah. And then they're like, you only want to go to a white woman because she give head. Like, yeah. That doesn't sound...
And now, yeah, wait, what was he about to say?
It's weird today. So how do you get...
Definitely doesn't sound weird today. It's just like it's mandatory now. And if you're not with the program, then, it definitely doesn't have to be strictly exclusive to being with a white woman. That's just like, yo, it's a must. At least in my book,
Somebody respect your morals. Well, if your morals are that important, then you need to find men who are equally on your footing as far. But if you're out in the world dating, you're going to get worldly people. That's number one. Number two, how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
Dress size?
Size 8.
How much did you weigh last time you weighed yourself?
155 pounds.
Okay. I'm big on fitness. You got to give yourself 30 to 50 pounds to grow with baby weight.
My baby mama's about that size, but this girl looks a little, we have to see the whole body, but she looks a little chunky in the face.
In my opinion. Is your father alive?
Yes.
All right. How many siblings do you have?
I have an older brother, and that's it.
Is he married?
He is not.
Okay. How much older?
2. He's only 26.
Okay. Have you talked to your father about dating?
I have. His main thing, my dad is a pastor, so he always says, fine. Yeah, my dad is a pastor. I come from a long line of uncles and dads and grandfathers being pastors, so.
Isn't it amazing, all these pastor men, but they can't seem to find no churched up men for you to be with? Because men have left the church.
Men have abandoned the church. We know the only men you're really going to find in church are you know, the preachers and maybe the deacons whose wife is forcing them to go, and they trying to be. Let me stop. I'm not saying they're trying to be predators. Or you'll have men that are not heterosexual in the church for the most part. Men have. I mean, it's really like that's what it's become now.
So you got a dilly of a pickle. Your father doesn't sound like he's helping you one little bit. Who do you talk to about relationships in your family?
My mom. I talk to her a lot about it. She's more open.
Your mom had been married how long?
27 years.
Cool. Oh, longer than you've been on this planet. When was your last relationship?
It was 4 years ago.
How long did that last?
It lasted 2 years.
So you ain't had a relationship. So 18 to 20. So you were 18 to 20. So there are a lot of things going on here, man.
Yeah.
I don't know why you young ladies don't date. And it's like, I'm going to speak past you. You ladies, women today act like you can order a man like a pizza. And here's the thing. If the man who you wanted came by, well, he want you. So, because you have a mother and father, I would say y'all need to sit down and figure this out. Because if you want somebody to respect your morals, I get it. I'm not a big fan of having women get out here and ride the carousel. But you got to engage in an environment where there are single people who want what you want. How many children would you like to have when you're married?
Between 3 and 4.
3 and 4. And do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant with the first child?
I wouldn't mind at all, actually.
All right. What percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for your lifetime?
I would say between 40 and 50%.
Bella, she wants to go half with you. She wants to go half with you. She wants to have 3 to 4 kids. I find it kind of odd though. Like the father is a pastor, mother. She's seeking advice from them, or lack of, or they're not providing her with the right guidance. So she's on here, you know, seeking it from Kevin. And 24 years old, still young. But where do we go from here? If you're trying to do this, she looks sad. I mean, she's got a beautiful smile, but she looks sad. And the parents is kind of like, I'm not hearing this, but let me get this from Kevin. I need to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life here. Like, what's the plan? At what age? You want 4 kids. What are you planning on doing for work? If you don't have a problem working 3 or 4 kids, it's a tall order.
That's a very high amount. Okay. Fine. So how many? 4 and 5? So how much money is it going to require to have a family of 6 to 7? What's your family household income?
Yearly, annually?
Mm-hmm.
I would say no less than about $350,000.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the bare minimum.
And what did you go to school for?
I'm currently in law school.
Wow.
Huh. You plan on being what kind of law?
Entertainment law.
You know, a lot of these attorneys, they call in, and you know, I've had people in the comments say, I'm an attorney, I'm successfully able to do this, and I'm superwoman, and you know, I can lay down bomb sex on my husband, and he has no complaints, and he works. Or be interested to see that in real time with all those kids.
So you plan on being a full-time attorney and a mother of 4 or 5?
I plan on what I really want to do, because I'm going to graduate next year when I'm 25. I plan on working finding someone, and then I do plan on cutting back, and I do want to open my own practice, very small practice.
You want to be a working attorney, mother of 4 or 5.
Yes.
Because I don't care how it comes out. You want to be responsible for at least $175,000 a year.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
Baby, get your stuff together first. Get all your shit together first. All right, that's what you want to do. Get all your shit together. 175,000 as a, was it 350? Was he was talking about 355? Get all your stuff together first.
That's the question. I would be okay with that.
Right. So that means that no one gives 100. So my point is, a family of that size. Do you care if your man is black or not?
I don't, personally.
Is your father black?
He is. He's African.
Okay, and the men tend to be more racially loyal the higher up they go. What percentage of men in this country earn $175,000 or more?
I would say maybe 6 to 7%.
Right. Around the 5% range. So, look at the logic puzzle you got. I want 4 to 5 kids. I'm going to be an entertainment lawyer, but I want to be an entertainment lawyer with a private practice. That's the most ideal situation possible. None of y'all wants to just work like a worker bee. Y'all want to be bosses. Want to own my own law firm and then have 4 to 5 well-adjusted middle-class kids and a top 5% husband. Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut could not make this order.
Very tall order, but I see, and I should have mentioned this earlier, I see why she kind of said that and why she's seeking Kevin's advice, because this traditional relationship she had between her parents, her father, she said he's African. I'm assuming the mother's American. When I say American, he's not African, like from the continent. When she's saying African, I'm assuming. So he's in the church. The mother was the breadwinner because pastors, I don't care what anybody says. A lot of times a pastor, some people say I was called to do this, I was called to do that. But a lot of times it's not like it used to be. A lot of these dudes now just want to be a pastor, and the woman will work and they don't have a job on the side. It's one of the easy, lazy jobs to get, is to be a pastor. So he got the woman being the breadwinner while he's up in the church preaching, so on and so forth. And that's what she saw. So now she's looking for all of these things and looking for advice on how she should go forward, being in a relationship with a man who will potentially go half or be the breadwinner, if that's what she really wants at the end of the day. Because 175, I mean, you covering half, you doing all those things. She doesn't really know. That's it. She's trying to learn while she's talking. So.
But I never start from that. You don't start from that. You don't start backwards and say, I want a man that's in the top 5% of earners. Is your father in that tax bracket?
He's not.
Yeah. I guess the sad part is so many of our women who are just like right around the average to cute range, y'all have such high y'all have such high expectations. Just outrageous. All of you want men who are high six-figure earners. And they all want it for various different reasons. But if I threw all you guys in one group and say, what are y'all, here's the thing. Every woman that's been on this show.
It's a wish list is what, when they come on Kevin's show, it's just a wish list. They know they're not being realistic. It's a wish
show tonight and this week, all kind of want men in the same range, right? Right? So let's say there were 30 of you, 3 men in the room. You'd have to compete with those 30 women for those 3 guys. Why should a man, one of those 3 men, pick you over the other 29 women?
I mean,
That's what y'all got to figure out. That's what y'all got to figure out. That's what y'all got to figure out. That's the attitude you got to come to the market with. Because y'all come to the market like, well, where do I find this perfect man? Where do I find this guy? Where do I find that guy? What? No, you have to be what he wants. That's why this show is so good, because you hear women say you want the men. All the same kind of men, roughly. The women sitting up on top of you are all your competition. Why should, if I was the man, why should I pick you over any one of them? What have any of you shown? What did any of y'all show? And that's just black women. What about the non-black women who want it? Because you don't know non-black women so coming after men who are making in the top 5%, right? And then many of these women are going to sit back and say, well, you know, I have moral shit. I guess what I'm ultimately trying to get is I don't see a competitive spark in black women. I see an entitlement. And it comes in various different ways. Some are more boisterous, some are a little bit more laid back. But the actual outcome, when the questions are asked, it's all in, how do I get what I want? So I'm going to ask you a question when I get to the next person. If that man does exist, and he does, what is he going to get with you that he can't get anywhere else?
You're asking me, correct? I just want to make sure. I would say, I mean, things he's getting from me that I feel like he can't get anywhere else is the quality of just being a listener, and also the quality of just, you know, being a comforter. You know, I understand how hard it is to go out and work every day. So just having someone to be there, a nice home cooked meal, something of that nature, or just if you want someone to listen, someone to chill with, someone to release your problems onto, I feel like that's what I'm there for. As my husband, as a wife, that's what I want to be to my husband. I want to be his peace. That's what I saw between my parents, and that's really what
how does that work if you're going to be in a corporate, if you're going to be a large?
I want to be his peace, baby. Be his peace. That's so generic, so cliche. How are we going to do that? I mean, I know you gave a few things, but how are we going to do that? That encompasses a lot. And then again, it doesn't, depending on who you talk to. But let's see if she expounds.
Because attorneys put in a lot of hours.
Yeah, so I plan on personally, I don't want to do like the big law life, like, you know, like the 190 that's selling my...
Still want, but it's still, they don't give that money away is my point.
Mm-hmm.
You want the resources, but you don't want to put the I get it. Many women decide to go to law because they think they can make a lot of money and do it their own way, but that's not how it works. Mm-hmm. You got to work. So why not an average guy like your dad?
I wouldn't mind that.
Okay. It would be better to look for it. Okay. Most men are.
It'd be better just to get a stay-at-home dad. Like your dad, if that's what you want to do. Let you be the breadwinner, let him stay his ass home and take care of the kids, right?
Middle class. And the higher up you go, you're fine to go there, but you have to, I'm going to be honest, the sales pitches I hear coming from women who want these men are pretty vanilla. I'll be his peace. He'll get a home-cooked meal. I mean, it's pretty generic. Mm-hmm. It's like you want to get into Harvard or MIT, and you're using the same letter for every organization. You're not. I mean, if you were trying to get into, what does your church say, Howard?
Yeah, I go to Howard Law.
Okay, right. Did you get any letters of recommendation to go?
To go to law school? Yes, I did.
Okay, all right. You went, yeah. To get into law, and if you wanted to get into Harvard Law or Yale Law, would you need to get more? Would you need to do more? Okay. Then y'all understand this. But what most women are doing is, I graduated, from high school. Just accept me. Getting into Howard is one thing. Getting into Howard Law is something else. Getting into Yale or Harvard Law is something else. You guys want Yale and Harvard and MIT level men, but you want it on being just a general admission to college kind of benefits. That's the way your mindset needs to be. I need to be performing at a level and need to be looking at a level and as competitive as a level, because if you knew that you wanted to go to your entire junior high, high school, college career would be different. But because our women don't seem to start to want to worry about relationships until a little bit later on, good conversation, but I think if your father and mother aren't going to be able to help you, it's going to be incumbent upon you ladies to actually start going to ask yourself more difficult questions. How to find a man? What does this man want? Because the men are not really the issue. The men are available. The men are more available than I think you ladies are really giving yourselves credit for. The men are much more available.
It's God's beat maker.
And I don't know. I haven't put a light in the sky for the G's that done turn memory from go. Blessings we send to the ghetto youth them.